Number 10. Your tap water might be hosting brain-eating amoebas. Yeah, your shower isn't supposed to come with bonus death organisms, but sometimes it does. Meet Naegleria fowleri, also known as the brain-eating amoeba. It lives in warm freshwater, lakes, rivers, and yes, even tap water in rare cases. You don't get sick from drinking it. The danger comes when it gets up your nose. If that happens, it can travel straight to your brain, destroy tissue, and cause a fatal infection called PAM, primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. The worst part? It moves fast. Symptoms show up in days, and most people die within a week. Some cases happened after people rinsed their sinuses with tap water, thinking they were being healthy. If the water isn't boiled or filtered, that routine can turn deadly. To be clear, this is super rare, but rare doesn't mean impossible. So if you use a neti pot, maybe don't get casual with what you pour in it. Your nose is not a welcome mat for microscopic killers. Number 9. Cats can secretly rewire your brain. Your cat might be messing with your brain, and not just by knocking stuff off shelves. There's a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii that lives in some cats, and it can sneak into your body without you even knowing. Here's the creepy part. Once it's in your brain, it might start changing how you think. Studies have linked this parasite to more risk-taking, slower reaction times, and even more car accidents. Some scientists think it tweaks your brain's dopamine, the chemical that controls things like motivation and mood. In rats, the parasite does something even weirder. It makes them attracted to the smell of cat pee, basically turning them into volunteers for dinner. And while most healthy people don't get sick from it, researchers are now looking into how it might connect to mental health conditions like anxiety and even schizophrenia. You can get it from cleaning a litter box, eating undercooked meat, or gardening without gloves. So yeah, next time you scoop the litter, maybe wear a mask. Number 8. Fruit can be a perfect place for parasites to hatch. That juicy mango might be hiding something extra, and it's not more vitamins. In some tropical areas, fruits like papayas, mangoes, or guavas can carry insect larvae. These aren't just gross, they're dangerous. If the fruit isn't cleaned or peeled properly, some of these tiny parasites can survive long enough to enter your body. Here's the nightmare scenario. You eat a piece of contaminated fruit, and a larva ends up in your gut. Or worse, a fly lays eggs on damaged skin, and the larvae crawl under your skin. There's a condition called myiasis, where fly larvae literally grow inside human tissue. Some people have had to get surgery to remove them. This isn't something that happens every time you eat tropical fruit, but it's not just urban legend either. It's why importers inspect fruit so carefully. So yeah, maybe take that wash your fruit advice seriously. You're not just rinsing off dirt, you might be evicting something a lot more alive. Number 7. Your houseplants might be laced with nerve toxins. You might want to take a second look at that cute plant on your windowsill. Some of the most common houseplants are secretly dangerous, like oleander and dieffenbachia. These aren't just pretty greens. They contain powerful toxins that can mess with your nervous system. If a child or pet chews on a leaf, even just a small bite, it can lead to nausea, paralysis, or even heart failure. One plant, the dumb cane, Dieffenbachia, gets its nickname because it can literally make you lose the ability to speak if its sap touches your tongue, and you don't have to eat them for trouble to start. Sometimes just getting the sap on your skin or rubbing your eyes afterward is enough. People often buy these plants without knowing what they are. They're sold everywhere, grocery stores, garden centers, no warning labels. So yeah, your plant shelf might be cozy and aesthetic, but also slightly murderous. Next time you water your plants, maybe wear gloves. Number 6. Pet reptiles may carry deadly salmonella. Your pet turtle might be cute, but it's also covered in invisible danger. Over 70% of pet reptiles, including turtles, snakes, and lizards, carry salmonella bacteria on their skin, not in their poop, right on their scales. And the scary part? You don't have to be bitten. Just touching them, or even their tank, can transfer bacteria to your hands. Then you scratch your nose, eat a chip, touch your phone. Boom! The bacteria is now on everything. Salmonella isn't just a bad stomach ache. In young kids or people with weak immune systems, it can lead to blood infections, organ damage, even death. One CDC report linked a salmonella outbreak to pet turtles the size of a quarter, so small they fit in your palm, and wreck your insides. Reptiles aren't evil, but they don't wash their hands after using the bathroom. So maybe you should. If you live with one, treat it like raw chicken with a tail. Wash up, don't kiss it, and definitely don't let it near your salad. Number 5. Mold in your walls can kill you slowly. Your walls might look normal, but inside something toxic could be growing. Stachybotrys chartarum, also known as black mold, loves damp, dark spaces. That leak under your sink, that tiny water spot on the ceiling, perfect conditions for this killer to move in. Black mold releases something called mycotoxins, microscopic poisons that float through the air. You breathe them in without noticing, and that's when the slow damage starts. First, it's stuffy sinuses, maybe a constant cough. Then fatigue, memory fog, even depression. Doctors often misdiagnose it. People get treated for allergies, asthma, anxiety, when the real culprit is hiding in their drywall. Some families spend years getting sicker without realizing it's their house making them ill. The worst part? You can't always see or smell black mold. It hides behind wallpaper, under floorboards, until you finally rip it open during renovations and find a horror show. So if your house has had water damage, don't just paint over it. Mold doesn't care about your paint job. It cares about surviving inside your lungs. Number 4. Fire ants can swarm without warning and trigger anaphylaxis. Imagine stepping on a patch of grass and suddenly feeling like your foot is on fire. That's the calling card of fire ants. Found in parts of the US and Latin America, these tiny red commandos don't attack one by one. They swarm, and they bite in sync. Then comes the sting, literally. Fire ants inject venom that causes burning, blistering pain. Some people describe it like being jabbed with a hot needle. But for allergic individuals, it gets way worse. One sting can trigger anaphylaxis, a full-body allergic reaction that can shut down breathing and become fatal if not treated immediately. And here's the kicker. They don't look dangerous, just a bunch of tiny ants, barely noticeable, until they're not. You don't have to be stomping on a nest either. Leaning on a tree, sitting in the wrong patch of dirt, or just brushing against a bush can be enough. So if you're in fire ant territory, double-check before you sit. They sting first, ask no questions later. Number 3. Plants can literally set you on fire. Most plants give you shade, oxygen, maybe allergies. This one gives you chemical burns. Meet giant hogweed. Sounds like a Harry Potter spell, but it's 100% real. Found in gardens, fields, and hiking trails across parts of Europe and North America, it looks like a giant version of Queen Anne's lace. Harmless, right? Wrong. Its sap contains compounds called furanocoumarins. If that juice gets on your skin and you go out in the sun, you don't get a tan, you get a second-degree burn. We're talking blisters, swelling, and in some cases, permanent scars. It's like your skin forgets how to defend itself. Some people have even ended up in the hospital. The worst part? You don't feel it right away. It takes hours to kick in, so by the time your arm's on fire, it's already too late. So yeah, not all plants are peaceful. Some are just waiting for a little sunlight to turn you into toast. Number 2. Invisible gas from the ground can cause cancer. Your home might be cozy, but the soil underneath could be leaking poison. It's called radon, a radioactive gas that forms naturally when uranium in the ground breaks down. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it, but it can collect inside homes, especially in basements or poorly ventilated areas. Here's the terrifying part. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer after smoking. In some countries, it's responsible for thousands of deaths every year, and most people have no idea it's even there. This isn't some rare phenomenon. In radon-heavy zones, 1 in 15 homes has dangerous levels, even without any visible damage or cracks. All it takes is time. You breathe it in every day, and the radioactive particles slowly damage your lungs. The good news? You can test for it with a cheap kit. The bad news? Almost nobody bothers. So yeah, your floor may look clean, but the air just above it might be killing you. Slowly, quietly, invisibly. Number 1. Even a tiny cut can invite flesh-eating bacteria. Ever had a small scratch and ignored it? Most of us do. But if you swim in the wrong lake or dig in contaminated soil, that little cut could become a doorway to something terrifying. It's called necrotizing fasciitis, a rare but brutal infection that kills soft tissue fast. The nickname? Flesh-eating bacteria. Not an exaggeration. It can enter through cuts so small you don't even notice them. And once it's in your bloodstream, it spreads like wildfire. Pain, swelling, fever, and then sudden collapse. At that point, the only chance of survival is immediate surgery to cut away infected flesh, sometimes entire limbs. Delay even a few hours and it can be fatal. You don't have to wade into a swamp. Some people get it from gardening after rain or rinsing off in untreated water. The bacteria are invisible. The danger isn't. So yeah, next time you've got a scratch and dirty hands, maybe don't tough it out. Wash it like your life depends on it, because it might. While making this video, I realized I've rinsed my nose with tap water for 15 years and never tested my basement for radon. If that freaked you out too, like, subscribe, and maybe grab a test kit.